Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois, and welcome to today's broadcast of St. Francis Fighting Saints Baseball. Today, the University of St. Francis takes on Roosevelt University in Game 3 of a three-game series, and the Saints take the field, hoping to avoid the sweep, as they will send out their defenders against this lineup. For Roosevelt, the Lakers have their second baseman, Matt Marrera, leading things off. Batting second is the shortstop, Matt Kozlak. Hitting third, Parker Coleman. Coleman is in center field. Zach Taylor hits cleanup and plays left field. Their designated hitter is number 24, Jordan Coakley. Batting sixth and playing first base, Leo Linato. The catcher hitting seventh, Jake Hutchinson. Dominic Lentini hits eighth and plays right field. And hitting ninth, third baseman Connor Griffin. Starting pitcher for the Lakers today is Jake Meyer. For the Fighting Saints, Travis Schoonover leads things off, playing right field. Batting second at second base, John Peterson. Batting third for the Fighting Saints today, the designated hitter, Joe McGuire. Hitting cleanup, first baseman, Anthony Ferran. Josh Tesh hits fifth and plays third base. Dustin Krob is the shortstop. Shawn Harper hits seventh. Harper plays left field. Bailey Schultz is out in center. And hitting ninth, the catcher, Adam Cebulka. The starting pitcher for today's Fighting Saints, looking for his fifth win of the year, it's Michael Quirum, 4-4 with a 2.93 ERA in 9 starts so far this season. He's thrown 61 and a third innings to lead the team. He's allowed 35 runs, only 20 of them earned on 67 hits, 43 strikeouts, only 8 walks. Opponents are batting .268 this year against Quirum, whose first pitch is over for strike one on Marrera, and we're underway. 12:30 p.m. on the dot, just as scheduled, more or less, as Marrera takes another strike. It's 0-2. I guess technically speaking, we were scheduled to get this thing underway about 24 hours ago. Yesterday's game was snowed out, and here we are on a beautiful sunny afternoon today with a pop foul off to the right side. Still 0-2 on Marrera. Still a little bit chilly, temperature hovering around 50 degrees, so cooler than the season would suggest, but much nicer conditions today than yesterday. Still 0-2 on Mark Marrera. He swings and pushes that ball up the middle. A diving stop at second base by Peterson, but the throw to first is not nearly in time. It's an infield base hit for Marrera. And a nice piece of hitting on a ball that was up and outside the strike zone. He was able to throw his bat up and connect with the ball, rolling it out towards second base. John Peterson had a nice stop on that ball, diving to his right, but Marrera runs well. This is a slowly developing play. No real chance for Peterson to get an out at first base. And then a leadoff single for Marrera. That brings up Kozlak. Matt Kozlak, .333 hitter. 2 homers, 17 RBIs on the season. This Roosevelt lineup did a number on St. Francis pitchers yesterday. Kozlak takes the first ball of the game from Quirum. Up high, it's 1-0. Lakers scored 16 runs in 2 games yesterday. It's a team that averages to score right around 5 per game. Averaged 8 runs against the Saints on Saturday, I should say, not yesterday. Ball 2 on Kozlak, 2-0. 2 games played in Crestwood, home of Roosevelt, on Saturday. Lakers took both ends of the doubleheader, and then they were scheduled to meet to conclude the series here yesterday, but due to the weather, they're playing it today instead. Ball 3, Quirum has missed on 3 in a row. It's amazing to think, though, that this field was covered in snow a day ago, and look at it right now, there's not a trace that it was ever here. Called strike over the inside corner, 3-1. The batter is Matt Kozlak. The runner at first base is Matt Marrera. Coleman stands on deck. Nobody out in the top of the first inning. Pickoff attempt to first base, and Matt Marrera dives back to the bag safely. Saints are in their home white uniforms today, complete with white caps. Roosevelt in traveling gray with green hats, white in the front. 3-1 on Kozlak. Runner goes, pitch is taken up high for ball. The throw down to second would have been in time, but it's ball 4. And so no play at second base. Kozlak is aboard, a no-out walk. 2 on now. Nobody out, and Coleman is the batter. A rare walk from Michael Quirum. He only walks a batter every 8 innings or so. He's walked one of the first 2 today. He missed on 4 out of 5 pitches against Matt Kozlak, who never took the bat off his shoulder during the at-bat. So now a tough out as Coleman takes the first pitch strike over the outside corner. Another tough out, really. Kozlak entered play today with a .483 on base percentage, so he's probably the toughest out on the team. Guy in the box right now, though, Parker Coleman, nothing to be scoffed at. He's got a .415 on base percentage. He's batting .311 as he swings and misses. The count is 0-2. .311 average, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. Far and away the best power on the team in terms of extra base hits, even though those 2 home runs don't necessarily suggest it. He's got 15 extra base hits, including a whopping 7 triples. He's got more triples than the entire St. Francis offense this year. He pops this ball sky high on the infield. Now shallow right. Peterson backs up and makes the catch. Peterson, the second baseman, pulls in Coleman's pop fly. 1 away in the first inning. And that brings up Zach Taylor, the left fielder. Taylor's hitting .284. He's got 18 RBIs, leads the team with 8 doubles on the year. Another tough man to retire. Quirum is hoping he hits the ball on the ground. Morera's at second base. He reached on an infield single. Kozlak is at first. He walked. First pitch to Taylor is over for a strike. Jordan Coakley, the designated hitter, is on deck. 0-1 on Taylor. Next pitch from Quirum. Delayed somewhat as he looks back to second. Now throws to second, not in time to get the out. Trying to keep Matt Morera close at second base, though. Morera had to dive back to the bag head first. Good speed aboard. Morera has just 3 steals this season. Kozlak leads the team with 11. He's at first right now, and he can't go anywhere unless Morera does first. Another pickoff throw to second. It's a rarity. You don't see too many pitchers make back-to-back pickoff throws to second base. Quirum is very determined to keep Morera near the bag. Still 0-1 on Zach Taylor. He takes the next pitch outside, throw down to first base this time, and Kozlak is back in safe. 1-1 on Taylor, but we've seen more pickoff attempts during this at-bat than we've seen actual pitches. That time the pickoff attempt came from the catcher Adam Cebulka, throwing behind the runner. Ball up and in, 2-1 on Taylor. It's been a tough first inning so far for Michael Quirum. First 2 batters reached. Only 1 out in the inning. It's 2-1 right now on Taylor. He's not getting the quick outs that he's accustomed to. Called strike over the outer edge. It's 2-2. 16 pitches so far in the inning for Quirum. And that's a lot for a guy who typically is extremely efficient and only has 1 out so far in the game. Ball outside, count goes full. Quirum's missing his spots a little bit more consistently in this first inning than we're used to seeing from him. Still throwing 10 strikes to only 7 balls, but he's missed fairly significantly on some of these throws, including the last one. Payoff pitch, swung on and hit in the air. Shallow left field. Coming in is Harper. Harper calls off the 2 infielders who were backing up on the play and makes the grab. So a couple of pop-outs in a row leave the runners where they are. High pop flies from Coleman and Taylor. Kozlak still at first. Morera still at second. 2 down now. And the batter is Jordan Coakley. Coakley, the designated hitter, is batting at .273. 13 RBIs. Looking for number 14 with a base hit here, but what looked like a very dangerous situation just moments ago for Quirum now looks only mildly dangerous. You always fret a little bit with 2 men on base, but if Quirum can retire the batter, no harm done in the first inning. Coakley takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Game 2 on Saturday. Most recent game between these two teams, Roosevelt's offense racked out 17 hits. Fouled back and out of play. 1-1. They're looking for their second hit of today's game, potentially producing a run. Everyone in the lineup on Saturday afternoon got at least one hit in Game 2. Most of them had more than one. Another pickoff attempt to second base. This time nobody covering the bag, so Quirum keeps the ball in his hand, but he fakes the throw anyway. Still trying to keep Matt Morera very close to the bag over at second. Fouled back and out of play off the screen. It's 1-2 now on Jordan Coakley. Michael Quirum, who's not a big strikeout pitcher, is just one strike away from putting an end to a dangerous first inning. Quirum sets and delivers. In the dirt, Cebulka knocks it down, but not well enough as Morera is able to advance. Morera to third base. Kozlak does not move up. He's still at first. A base hit now would certainly get that run in. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count on Coakley. Quirum trying to mercifully get out of this lengthy first inning. But he misses low and away, ball 3. This is already his third 3-ball count of the inning. Just the 5th batter that he's faced. Of the previous 2, 1 walked, 1 popped out on 3-2. This will be a payoff pitch to Jordan Coakley. Runners at the corners, 2 down. And he takes strike 3. The inning is over. Big strikeout for Michael Quirum to end the top half of the first. Wasn't at his sharpest in the first inning, but he does not surrender any runs as Roosevelt leaves men at the corners. We head to the bottom of the first inning, and St. Francis will come up in a scoreless tie. Bottom of the first inning, no score. St. Francis comes to bat for the first time. Schoonover, Peterson, and McGuire do up. Ferran, Tesh, Krob, Harper, Schultz, and Cebulka make up the rest of the lineup. Facing Roosevelt right-hander Jake Meyer, whose first pitch hits the outside corner for strike 1. Meyer back into the windup here for the 0-1 to Schoonover. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Jake Myers, just a freshman, making his 3rd career collegiate starts. His 6th appearance of the year. He's gone 0-2 with a 6.91 ERA so far. He's ahead of Schoonover 0-2 though. And he misses the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Meyer has thrown just 14 1/3 innings on the year. He's allowed 12 runs, 11 of them earned on 14 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 12 walks. So he's had a rough time of it so far. We'll see if he can turn it around in this game. So 1-2 to Schoonover. It is poked foul to the left. Travis Schoonover on the season, hitting .299. 2 home runs, 17 RBIs. His average has just gone a shade under 300. He's been hitting above that mark for pretty much the entire year. Ball low, 2-2. He works a good at bat to lead off this game, making Meyer work a little bit harder than he'd like to in the early going. Meyer looks to put him away on the 6th pitch of the sequence here. Another 2-2. Popped up, shallow left, down the line into foul territory. Connor Griffin loses it in the sun and lets it fall in foul ground. Saints catch a break. It's a foul ball. Didn't actually end up clearing that line by much. It was fouled by 3 feet or so. Connor Griffin was clearly all in foul territory as he tried to make that catch. It's a very bright and sunny afternoon. Shielding his eyes from the sun, Griffin just lost the ball. It hit off the heel of his glove and dropped uncaught. Still 2-2 on Schoonover. And he fouls it back off the net once again. Still 2-2. He'll be followed this inning by John Peterson and Joe McGuire as the Saints try to score first. Roosevelt had an early threat. Runners at first and second, nobody out. In the top of the first inning, they did not score. Schoonover chops it foul down the first baseline. Another foul ball. If nothing else, that misplay by Connor Griffin down the third base line has created some extra pitches for Jake Meyer here. He's thrown at least 3 extras because of it. Ball in the dirt, the count goes full. 9 pitches so far from Meyer to Schoonover, giving a good look to John Peterson at what this guy has to offer. 3-2. Up high, he walked him. Good at bat by Travis Schoonover as he ultimately works the free pass. Didn't seem all that free at the time. He fouled off 4 2-strike foul balls, took some close ones, and now he stands at first base. 20th time that Schoonover has walked this year. That's a team high. John Peterson is right behind him as he squares up to bunt, drops down third base side, backhanded pickup by Jake Meyer, and the throw to first is in time. Nice play by Meyer. If that ball had gotten by him, that would have been a very tough play for Connor Griffin. I don't think he would have gotten to it. It was the pitcher or nothing there, and the pitcher makes the play. Here's Joe McGuire. McGuire hitting .323. 2 home runs, 19 RBIs this year. He missed a significant amount of time mid-season, but back and raring to go here. Fouls it back off the screen, strike 1. Both teams have gotten a man into scoring position with fewer than 2 outs. Roosevelt was not able to score. Can St. Francis? McGuire certainly wants the answer to be yes. It's 0-1 on him right now. Check swing, and he foul tipped it. So the count is 0-2. McGuire is a junior transfer from Joliet Junior College. In his first season with the Saints, trying to make a mark here with a runner at second, nobody out in the bottom of the first, in a scoreless tie. McGuire takes the ball outside from Meyer. Count is 1-2. Remember the numbers I read on Jake Meyer: 12 walks, only 5 strikeouts in 14 1/3 innings this year. So Saints can get to him. They have to take a patient approach in this game. 1 on, 1 out, the 1-2. Now on its way. Outside, 2-2. Meyer held the set for a long time there. Perhaps trying to throw off Travis Schoonover's rhythm over at second base. Schoonover walked to begin the inning. Anthony Ferran's on deck. It's 2-2 on McGuire. And he takes ball 3. Meyer already lost Travis Schoonover after getting ahead of him. He ended up issuing the walk. He was ahead of McGuire as well. In fact, it was 0-2. Now it's 3-2. Trying to reach base in front of Anthony Ferran. He grounds it to third. It's off the glove of Griffin. And everybody is safe. No throw is made anywhere. Schoonover stays at second base. An error on Griffin allows McGuire to reach first. 2 on, 1 out for Anthony Ferran. McGuire hit that one right to the hot corner. Connor Griffin just wasn't ready for it. He reached to his left and the ball kicked off his mitt. Here's Anthony Ferran, one of the top hitters in the country. Ferran takes ball 1 outside. Anthony Ferran, through 34 games, he is hitting .440. 5 homers, 31 RBIs. He fouls it back out of play, 1-1. Ferran is slugging .688. He's on base 51.5% of the time. Up in a big RBI opportunity right here. Trying to extend his team RBI lead. Instead, he pops it up foul to the right side. Leo Lunato over on it, has room, he makes the catch. So a foul pop out brings up Josh Tesh. It's up to Tesh to get these runners home. Schoonover's at second, and McGuire's at first. No hits in the inning for the Fighting Saints. There's been a walk and an error, and that's all. Josh Tesh is getting the third base assignment today. First pitch from Jake Meyer. Bouncing ball left side. Charging is the shortstop Kozlak. He gloves cleanly. Throws to first. Not in time. Everybody is safe. An infield single for Josh Tesh on a close play at first base. They're loaded now with 2 down for Dustin Krob. Leo Lunato certainly thought that Tesh was out. He actually rolled the ball back to the pitcher's mound thinking it was out number 3. Then the safe call came in from the base umpire. They had to chase that ball down to make sure that Schoonover couldn't score from third. Dustin Krob with the bags full. 304 hitter, 1 homer, 7 RBIs. He takes ball 1 high. Krob is the starting shortstop today for the Fighting Saints. He takes a ball low, 2-0. Big spot here for Krob. A walk would bring in a run. He's got the hitter's count right now, 2-0. Chance to really let loose with his swing. We'll see what he has in mind. As Meyer stares in at the catcher, Jake Hutchinson gets the sign and sets. It's a swing and a high fly, right side foul, towards the seating area and just out of the reach of Leo Lunato. First baseman reached over the camera well and came up about a foot short of hauling that ball in. Count is 2-1. It's been a very long first inning. Saints starter Michael Quirin threw 24 pitches, got out of it without allowing a run. Now Meyer trying to do something similar. 2-1, misses low and inside, ball 3, and there's nowhere to put him. A walk would be an RBI. 24 pitches now for Meyer as well. 2 outs in the inning. He thought he had number 3 a moment ago. It was ruled an infield single by the umpire. And there's ball 4. He's walked in a run. Schoonover, who walked himself earlier in the inning, now scores on a Dustin Krob RBI base on balls. Tesh moves to second base, McGuire to third. And the batter is Shawn Harper. Harper is the left fielder for the Saints. He takes a breaking ball, it misses 1-0. 7th batter of the inning for the Fighting Saints. They haven't hit the ball hard yet. They haven't hit it out of the infield yet. 1 hit was an infield single for Josh Tesh. The other base runners have come on an error and 2 walks. That's a strike on Harper, 1-1. Next pitch to Shawn Harper is flipped out to right field down the line into foul ground. Lunato over in front of the seats. Can't make the play. It pops out of his glove. Nice effort from Lunato. Came up just a little bit short. It got him in the glove. He just couldn't squeeze it in enough time with that wall bearing down on him. So the count is 1-2. Shawn Harper's a .236 hitter. 3 RBIs. Pitcher's count here, though, 1-2. Runners all over. Called strike 3 over the inside corner, and the inning is over. Harper goes down looking, and the Saints have to settle for just 1 run, but they'll take it. 1 run on 1 hit, 2 walks, an error. The bases left loaded as we head to the second. 1-0, St. Francis. It's the top of the second inning, and St. Francis has the narrow early lead thanks to a bases-loaded walk last inning. Michael Quirin back to the hill, pitching from out front for the first time. He fires strike 1 on the leadoff batter of the second inning, first baseman Leo Lunato. Number 6 hitter for Roosevelt today, batting for the first time. He bounces it right back to the pitcher's mound on 1 hop. Quirin gloves it, throws sidearm over to first base, and he's recorded first out of the inning. 4 straight retired by Quirin after the first 2 batters of the ball game reached against him. An infield single and a walk. It was looking like a rough day in the first. Quirin allowed those 2 base runners. He threw 24 pitches, but then the bottom of the first belonged to the Saints. Here's Hutchinson. He takes strike 1. Jake Meyer for Roosevelt threw 29 pitches in the first inning, so both guys were out there a long time. Fouled back, 0-2 now. Hutchinson, the catcher, is getting his first at-bat of the day. Hitting .296 with a homer. 6 runs knocked in. That ball hit up the middle, but this one is past Michael Querum and out to center field. So Hutchinson has himself a 1-out single. It's the first outfield hit of the game for either team. Coming into that at bat, both teams had 1 hit and they both stayed on the infield. What a solid single for Hutchinson. And that brings up Dom Lentini. Lentini is a left-handed hitting outfielder, batting for the first time in this game. .322 average for the year. He takes ball 1 from Querum. First pitch that Querum has missed the zone on this inning. Lentini's got 11 RBIs for the year, 2 doubles, no home runs. Ball outside, it's 2-0. Querum's having a little bit of trouble with his command early on in this game, including starting out the number 8 hitter with a 2-0 count. Breaking ball over the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. In the first inning, his balls to strike ratio is just about even. Here in the second inning, he's cleaned that up a little bit. There's a slow curve over the outside corner. And the count evens up to 2-2. It was 2-0 on Lentini. Now it's an even count. Querum can look for his second strikeout of the game. He got Coakley to go down looking to end the first inning. Here's the 2-2. Nope, throw to first instead. Runner dives back to the bag. Two and two. Now the pitch. Fouled back off the net. Still 2-2. 1-0 St. Francis on a bases-loaded walk in the first inning. Runner goes, pitch is taken for strike 3. The throw to second is not where it needs to be. It bounds away from the shortstop, Dustin Krob. But Peterson is there to back it up. Ball doesn't go out into center field. Lentini is out number 2. Hutchinson, or rather Hutchinson's pinch runner, Chad O'Hare, moves up to second base. O'Hare doing the running over at second. Griffin the batter. And Griffin takes strike 1. Connor Griffin, freshman out of Naperville Central High School, batting for the first time in this game. .381 hitter for the season. Called strike 2. Griffin doesn't play regularly. This is just his 6th start of the year in 32 team games, though he has been used as a pinch hitter or a pinch runner. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The inning is over. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Querum. 3 in the ball game for him. He pitches around the 1-out single in the second. And as we go to the bottom of the inning, St. Francis leads 1-0. Bottom of the second inning, 8-9-1 due up for the Fighting Saints. Bailey Schultz set to lead things off in a 1-0 game. Schultz, Cebulka, and Schoonover trying to pile on the Roosevelt Lakers here in the second inning after they had some success against Jake Meyer in the first. Meyer winds up for his first pitch of the inning, and Schultz slaps it back for strike one off the netting behind home plate. Bailey Schultz batting for the first time today. His average coming into this one, 134. He's 9 for 67 at the plate, 3 RBIs, 10 runs scored. He takes a strike. It's 0-2. Jake Meyer's command in the first inning was not good. He walked 2, including 1 with the bases loaded. That's how St. Francis got their run. They didn't hit the ball out of the infield the whole inning. They scored. Schultz takes high, 1-2. Walk, error, infield single, walk. 4 base runners, 1 run. But the outfielders were able to stand around with their hands in their pockets the whole inning. Ball 2 on Schultz. The count is even. Saints are making Jake Meyer work early, other than Josh Tesh, who reached on an infield single on the first pitch he saw. John Peterson, who dropped on a sacrifice bunt on the first pitch he saw. Schultz goes down swinging for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the ballgame now for Jake Meyer. Other than those 2 quick at-bats, almost everybody's working the count so far in the game against Meyer. He's already thrown 34 pitches for the game. Meyer's starting for just the 3rd time this year. It's his 6th appearance. As Adam Cebulka steps into the right-handed batter's box and swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Meyer's gotten a lot of swings and misses early in the game, so he's had good stuff. Again, control is the bigger issue for him, and that's been an issue for him all year. 12 walks and only 14 innings pitched at the outset. There's a ball off the outside corner, and the count evens up at 1. On paper, St. Francis has the huge statistical edge in terms of pitching matchup today. But on paper, the Saints would have the big edge overall in this series, and it hasn't worked that way so far. Cebulka takes a slow ball for a strike, 1-2. Roosevelt not only won Saturday's games, they won them decisively, 7-1 and 9-1. Popped foul and out of play. Cebulka waited back on that one. Not able to push it into fair territory, though. Still 1-2 on the number 9 batter. Catcher Adam Cebulka, 208 batter. 3 home runs on the season for Cebulka. Looking to double the lead here with number 4. Instead, he goes down on strikes, swinging. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts to begin this inning. That's 3 straight strikeouts overall for Jake Meyer. And we go back to the top of the order and Travis Schoonover. Schoonover walked and scored a run in the first inning. Now out for the second time. 2 outs, nobody on. Meyer looking for the game's first 1-2-3 inning. Ball outside, 1-0. Schoonover had a very good at-bat in the first, leading off that bottom of the first inning. He worked the count fully, fouled off 4 2-strike pitches to do it. He flies this ball high in the air down the left field line. Long run for Zach Taylor, and finally the shortstop Matt Kozlak chases it down. Nice running play on one hop by Kozlak as Schoonover heads to second base with a double. And a well-placed fly ball there from Schoonover. Didn't hit it hard, but just in between Kozlak and Taylor, the shortstop and left fielder. Kozlak made a great effort for it, and he's the one who's able to track the ball down eventually. But just too tough a play. And there's the first outfield hit of the ball game for the Fighting Saints. In fact, the first outfield hit, or I should say the first extra base hit of the game for either team. Roosevelt did have an outfield hit at the top of the second inning, a single up the middle. Batter is John Peterson trying to double the lead with a base hit. Ball up and in. Schoonover will be going on contact with 2 outs, so Peterson can knock a base hit into the outfield grass somewhere. Saints will likely get another run on the board. 1-0 on Peterson. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. First two batters of the inning struck out. Meyer was looking for a 1-2-3 frame. He got Schoonover to fly one into shallow left field, but down the line, very difficult play. Nobody could make it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Peterson. Long pause by Meyer, and now the pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. John Peterson moves up into the number 2 spot in the order. He's been hitting there for the last few weeks primarily. 258 batter for the season, 8 RBIs. More of a bottom half of the order hitter earlier in the year. Trying to come up with a big RBI in this at-bat. It's 1-2. And Meyer misses up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's Schoonover at second after a bloop double. Good speed over there at second base. 2 outs in the inning, 2-2 on Peterson. Meyer sets and delivers. Peterson nearly hit by that one inside and off the plate. It's 3-2. Joe McGuire waits in the on-deck circle. He'll bat, though, only if Peterson reaches base. Three balls and 2 strikes. Here's Jake Meyer with the pitch. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Near the pitcher's mound. It's on the pitcher's mound, and the ball drops. Schoonover tries to score. He's safe at the plate. Peterson is safe at first base. Schoonover, off on contact with 2 outs, is able to come all the way in from second base to score on a pop-up that lands on the pitcher's mound. You would think that'd be an easy play, a 60-foot high pop-up. Should have been routine, but anytime you put the pitcher's mound in play, it becomes difficult. The ball landed straight on the top of that mound. The third baseman, Connor Griffin, is the one who called for the ball, and he tripped as he was going up the mound. The ball hit him in the glove, but he just couldn't hang on. It's 2-0 St. Francis. Here's Joe McGuire. McGuire swings at the first pitch, lifts it high and deep out to right field. It's playable. Backing up and making the catch is Dom Lentini. The inning is over, but a run scores for St. Francis thanks to that bizarre play on the mound. And as we head to the 3rd inning of play, our score is St. Francis 2, Roosevelt nothing. Two to nothing, St. Francis. They've scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. And so far, Michael Queerum has held the Lakers off the scoreboard as we start the 3rd. It's the top of the order for Roosevelt. Matt Morera, Matt Kozlak, and then the center fielder, Parker Coleman. So far, so good for Queerum. He's retired 6 of the last 7 batters that he's faced. Moreira reached in the first inning, and he takes the strike to start off this one. It was an infield single for the Roosevelt second baseman. Matt Moreira swings this one and lines it a little bit more sharply out to center. That's his second hit of the ball game. A leadoff single here in the third inning. He's 2 for 2. And he stands at first base for Matt Kozlak. The first time up, he didn't hit it very hard. It was up the middle on the ground. Peterson had to make a diving play for it and had no chance to get him at first. This time Moreira lines it resoundingly out to center field. It brings up Kozlak. Lakers been hitting the ball today. They've got 3 hits in 2+ innings. They've had 4 base runners already, but they trail 2-0. Kozlak bunts it behind home plate. Foul and unplayable for the catcher, Adam Sobolka. Strike 1 on Kozlak. Kozlak walked on 5 pitches in the first inning. The only walk issued so far today by Quirum. First 2 batters of the game reached since then. Quirum has settled in and pitched well. Hard grounder right at the second baseman. Peterson shovels to second for 1. The relay throws in plenty of time for the double play. Kozlak grounds out 4-6-3. It's a double play. 2 outs. The bases are empty. That was just what the Saints needed. Couldn't have been designed any better. A hard hit ball, but it was right where John Peterson was stationed. Didn't even have to move in order to field that ball cleanly. So they turned 2 fairly easily. Here's Parker Coleman with 2 outs and nobody on base. Coleman popped out to second base his first time up. He takes strike 1. That was a big moment. With runners at first and second, nobody out in the first inning. This game had the potential to slip away from Quirum very early, but he buckled down. He got that pop-up. He hasn't been hit particularly hard since then. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Hasn't run into very much trouble. Roosevelt has had 1 base runner in each of the last 2 innings. But they've not been able to seriously threaten. The double play this inning helped out in that regard. And now he's 1 strike away from heading back to the dugout. The 0-2 to Coleman is swung on and missed, and the inning is over. 4 strikeouts already for Michael Quirum. Not usually a big strikeout guy, but he has sharpened up after that start in which he gave up the single and the walk to the first 2 batters. Since then, 8 out of 9 set down. 9 out of 10, actually, including the double play. And we'll head to the bottom of the third inning with St. Francis ahead, 2-0. Two to nothing, St. Francis, bottom of the third inning. They've scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. They'll try to make it 3 in a row here with Ferran, Tesh, and Krob due to hit against the freshman twirler Jake Meyer. Meyer's first pitch misses up and away on Ferran, 1-0. Anthony Ferran is 0 for 1 in the game. Popped out into foul territory to first base in the first inning. Meyer into the windup for the 1-0. And Ferran takes ball 2. Saints have 2 runs and only 2 hits. Roosevelt has not scored. They've out-hit St. Francis, though, 3-2. They've got 1 in each inning, but Michael Queeram really looks good the last few frames. Ferran swings on 2-0 and drives it into the left center field gap. That's down for a base hit as it rolls to the warning track. Ferran's got at least 2 bases. He pulls up at second with a double. Leadoff double for Anthony Ferran. Far and away the hardest hit ball of the game by a fighting Saint. It's their 3rd hit, the second to have gone for extra bases. And the leadoff man's in scoring position, giving St. Francis a good chance to make it 3 straight innings with at least 1 run. Here's Josh Tesh. 1 for 1. He reached on an infield single in the first inning. Tesh swings the first pitch, and he flies into right center field. Racing over to make the catch is Don Lentini. Ferran tags from second base, and he makes it into third standing up. Productive out hit by Tesh. He advances the runner. With 1 out, the batter is Dustin Krob. Krob had a nice easy RBI his first time up. Came up with the bases loaded. And he walked. Infield will come in against Krob here, with the Saints threatening to go up by 3 runs. Krob takes the first pitch for a strike. Anthony Ferran's double moments ago was his team leading 11th of the season. It's his 17th extra base hit of the year. Krob flies it into center field. That drops for a base hit. Ferran scores an RBI single for Krob, his 2nd run batted in today. It's 3-0 St. Francis. 2nd hit of the inning for the Fighting Saints. They've got 4 now for the ball game. They lead by 3 runs, and they've still got a man on with only 1 out for Shawn Harper. For Dustin Krob, that's RBI number 9 for the season. Again, 2 of them today. Meyer's first pitch to Harper misses outside for ball 1. This is a Roosevelt pitching staff that has struggled overall this year. 7.2 team ERA. Saints saw some tough pitchers on Saturday. Harper shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes the ball, 2-0. But it's not a very deep pitching staff. Unlike St. Francis, which has a typical 4 to 5 guys that they'll go to start their games, Roosevelt has used pretty much everybody up and down the roster as far as the pitching staff is concerned. Harper rips it to the third base side. Diving play by Griffin. He throws to second for the force. The relay throw is not in time to turn 2, but a heck of a job by Griffin just to get the lead runner there. That looked like a base hit off of Harper's bat. It turns into a very impressive 5-4 fielder's choice. 2 outs, a runner at first, and the batter is Bailey Schultz. Schultz is 0 for 1. He struck out swinging last inning. First pitch from Meyer. Misses outside, ball 1. This is Meyer's 3rd start this year. Matt Garbosh, their number 1 starter, has made 9 appearances as a starting pitcher this year. They've got 7 different guys who have started at least once. Ball high. Count is 2-0. Ren Stewart has started once. Nick Simak, rather, has started twice. Ball 3 on Bailey Schultz. It's 3-0. Jake Meyer starting for the 3rd time today. So they've been using those 3 guys mostly to fill in when needed. Ball 4 inside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Bailey Schultz. Shawn Harper on down to second base. 2 on, 2 out, and the batter is Adam Cibulka. 1 run is already in this inning. Anthony Ferran doubled. Dustin Krob singled him in. Now the walk to Schultz puts him at first and second as Cibulka tries to drive in another run. Cibulka takes strike 1 from Meyer. Meyer struck out Cibulka his first time up. In fact, Meyer's got 3 strikeouts so far in the game. He got Harper, Schultz, and Cibulka in order between the first and second innings and hasn't gotten anybody since or before. Ball in the dirt. The runners will try to advance, and they will, as the catcher Jake Hutchinson has trouble picking up the ball. So Harper to third, Schultz to second base. 1-1 count on Cibulka. Ball was in the dirt. Hutchinson did a nice job of keeping it in front of him. And if he had grabbed that ball cleanly, maybe have had a play at either second or third base, but didn't grip it cleanly as he tried to pick it up. So it's a wild pitch with both runners moving up. Cibulka swings and misses. It's 1-2. That wild pitch makes this at bat all the more important for the young right-hander Jake Meyer, because now a base hit from Cibulka would likely make it 5-0. But he gets 1 more strike here or any other kind of out. You can head to the 4th with just a 3-run deficit. Cibulka grounds it weakly to the right side, picked up by the second baseman Morera. The throw to first is in time to retire the side. So the Saints leave 2 more runners in scoring position. They've stranded 6 through 3 innings, but they've also scored a run in every inning. So you head to the 4th, it's 3-0 in favor of the home team. Three innings in the books. It's 3-0 St. Francis. Single tallies in each of the first 3 frames. Roosevelt trying to get back into it. 4, 5, and 6 due up here in the 4th, and Zach Taylor starts things off with a swing and a miss against Michael Querum. It's 0-1. Taylor popped out to shallow left field his first time up back in the first inning. He hits a ground ball up the middle here, ranging to his left. Krob near second base, fields it and throws to first, a step in front of Taylor for out number 1. Leadoff man is retired, and the batter is Jordan Coakley. Querum's been sharp. He has not allowed a runner past second base in the last 2 1/3 innings. First 2 batters of the game reached for Roosevelt, but since then only 2 batters have reached, and one of them was doubled up just a few pitches later. Breaking ball to Coakley misses below the knees for ball 1. Jordan Coakley struck out looking to end the first inning. He pops it up foul to the right side and out of play. One of 4 strikeouts early on for Michael Querum, who's not typically a big strikeout pitcher. Tends to get 1 every inning and a half or so. About 6 strikeouts per 9 innings coming in. But 4 in 3 innings today. Called strike 2 on Coakley. 1 out, nobody on. Querum looking for strikeout number 5 right here. He's in the driver's seat against the DH Coakley. Righty to righty. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Has to be dug out by Cebulka, who throws on down to first. 2 away. Second time he's gotten Coakley today. It is his 5th strikeout of the match. And the batter now is the first baseman, Leo Lunato. 4 in a row retired by Querum. Matches a game high. Lunato is 0 for 1. He bounced out to the pitcher his first time up. This ball's popped up high in the air, foul ground right side, but playable for Ferran. Anthony Ferran makes the grab, and the inning is over. A 7-pitch, 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. Worked by Michael Querum. He's on a roll as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-0 St. Francis. Top of the order for the Fighting Saints in the bottom of the 4th inning. St. Francis leads Roosevelt 3-0. Travis Schoonover's been a big part in developing that 3-run lead as he takes a ball low and away. We're underway in the bottom of the 4th inning. Schoonover's 1 for 1 with a walk and a double. He's scored 2 of the 3 runs so far. Led off the first inning with a walk. This is the second time he's led off a frame. He fouls this ball away. 1-1. Schoonover's average just barely has dipped below 300, 299 coming in. His 1 for 1 start to today's game will put him back over 300 for the time being. Ground ball foul to the right side, 1-2. Jake Meyer still on the hill for Roosevelt. Meyer, in his 5 previous outings, had only gone 14 1/3 innings total. Trying to go deep into this one. Got off to a shaky start. Schoonover flies it in the air, shallow left center field. Coming on as the center fielder, Parker Coleman, to make the catch. 1 away. When I say that he got off to a shaky start, I don't just mean that walk to Schoonover. He gave up 4 total base runners in the first inning, one of them on an error. So the run he allowed was unearned in the first inning. And the run he allowed in the second inning was unearned as well, as it came on a 2-out error. Popped foul and out of play by John Peterson for strike 1. Peterson is the one who reached on that second inning error, a pop-up to the pitcher's mound. Ball was dropped by the third baseman, Connor Griffin. once again by Peterson, 0-2. A lot of early pitches for Jake Meyer as well. Nothing came easily for him over those first couple of innings. So his pitch count is elevated compared to where he'd like it to be right now. 0-2. Hits him in the back. Peterson down to first base on an 0-2 pitch. Meyer just missed his spot. I think the ball may have slipped out of his hand. Peterson stood in there, turned away from it, and took it square on the back. First base runner of the inning for the Fighting Saints. They've had at least one base runner in every inning. They've scored a run in the first three. Now trying to make it 4 in a row. Joe McGuire will look to pitch in. It's just the second batter that Meyer has hit this season, and now 18 innings pitched. Joe McGuire takes ball 1. For as wild as he's been with 12 walks and 14 and a third innings coming in, the fact that that's only the second hit batter is notable. But another runner aboard for the Fighting Saints as McGuire takes a strike. Count is 1-1. McGuire's 0 for 2 in the game. Hit the ball well his last time up, but flew out to right field. Hit the ball well in the first inning as well. But right to the third baseman, Connor Griffin, who couldn't handle it. E5 led to Joe McGuire reaching base. Called strike 2 over the outside corner. 1-2 on McGuire. 1 out, 1 on. Ferran is on deck. Ferran's already got a double and a run scored in this game. Meyer doesn't want to face him with anybody in scoring position, so this is a huge out for him to get. 1-2 on McGuire. Swung on and fouled off to the right side onto the lawn. Still 1-2. Another St. Francis hitter making Jake Meyer work here. Again, not too many easy outs in this game. Another 1-2 pitch coming up, righty to righty. Fouled back, and he'll see another 1-2. Peterson, the runner at first base, runs well. Taking a short lead during this at bat, though, over at first base. The bottom of the fourth inning, St. Francis has already scored more runs in this one than they did in Saturday's doubleheader. 16 innings of baseball. They managed just 2 runs that day. They got 3 runs in 3 innings today. Ball high, 2-2. McGuire set to see his 7th pitch of the at-bat from Jake Meyer. And he fouls it back. He'll see an 8th. Roosevelt's a team that got off to a disastrous start this year. Really didn't figure to be a factor in the CCAC. They were 0-11 in non-conference play, and Saints know a little something about that. They also did not perform as well as they'd like to in non-conference games. McGuire pops it up behind home plate, back towards the screen, and that ball drops on the on-deck circle, untouched. Another foul ball for McGuire, and the at-bat goes on. Good run from Leo Lunato. I don't think Jake Hutchinson located the ball very well. If he had seen that off the bat, he would have had the best play on it, but I don't think the catcher saw it until late. Lunato came sprinting in from first base and just got there right after the ball landed. So it stayed in play, but nobody was able to catch it. So McGuire stays alive in the batter's box. It's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good long at bat against a pitcher who is nearing his limit, I would think. That ball drilled out to deep left field, but right at the left fielder, Zach Taylor, who takes 1 step back and makes the catch. Tough luck for McGuire. He crushed that ball. But Taylor was on the spot to put him away. 2 down. The batter is Anthony Ferran. Ferran is 1 for 2. Popped out to first in the first. Doubled and scored in the third. He takes ball 1. Myers over 80 pitches for the game right now. Saints have gotten him for 4 hits, 3 walks, and a hit batter. There have been a lot of base runners. Ball 2, 2-0. Despite the fact that they have a 3-run lead, and you know they're happy about that, they could be leading by a lot more. They've already stranded 6 runners through 3 innings. Ferran pops it up, shallow right. Morera backs up, Lentini comes in, and Morera makes a lunging play to retire Ferran and get out of the inning. Lentini was coming in from right field. He had an easy play on it. Morera called him off, and he nearly missed it. Misjudged the ball and had to reach back far at the last second to pull it in, but he was able to make the grab. Side is retired, and the Saints, for the first time today, don't score. They leave 1. We head to the 5th. It's 3-0 St. Francis. Top of the 5th inning, 3-0 St. Francis over Roosevelt as Jake Hutchinson leads things off for the Lakers and smacks the first pitch up the middle. Moving to his right, John Peterson makes the catch on the fly for out number 1. Quick start to this 5th inning, 1 pitch, 1 out. Peterson played that ball well in off the hands of Hutchinson. Didn't get a lot of it, but hit it right over second base. Not an easy play for Peterson. He had to make the catch on the fly. If he let it bounce, it would have been a very difficult out at first base. So he came in, made the backhanded grab on the fly for the first out of the inning. Now Quirum breaks one over the inside corner for strike 1 on Dom Lentini. Lentini is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He takes another one over the inside corner, 0-2. Quirum's been awfully good today, especially over the last couple of innings. He's retired 6 consecutive batters. Included in that stretch is a double play and 2 strikeouts. Ball 1 on Lentini. Nobody during that run of 6 straight retired has hit the ball out of the infield. In fact, only 2 players have all day for Roosevelt. There's a fly ball into the outfield, shallow left. Harper comes on towards the line and makes the grab. So just the 3rd ball all game that has been hit into the outfield, but hit in such a way that it was a routine grab for Harper. 2 outs, 7 in a row set down, and that brings up Connor Griffin. Quirum set him down in order in the top of the 4th. That's the only 1-2-3 inning of the game for either pitcher so far today. But now he's trying to make it 2 in a row, and doesn't look like he'll succeed. A lofter over the head of the shortstop Dustin Krob into left field, and a base hit for Connor Griffin. So both the 1st and the 3rd batters of the inning, Hutchinson and Griffin, put the ball in play on the first pitch. Hutchinson lined softly out. Griffin lined a single to left field. Roosevelt's got their first base runner since the leadoff man in the 3rd inning. That was Matt Morera, and now this is Matt Morera batting for the 3rd time today. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. He takes ball 1 up and away. Griffin at first base, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Saints lead 3-0. There's a called strike. It's 1-1. Matt Marrera, 320 hitter with a 398 on base percentage coming in. Has not been retired yet in this game. Ball in the dirt. Good block by Cebulka. 2-1. I guess that's not entirely true. He was retired his last time up, but he was retired as part of a fielder's choice at second base. He has not been retired as a batter, would be a more accurate way to put it. He hits this ball high in the air, shallow left. Dustin Krob shields his eyes from the sun, takes a step back on the outfield grass, and makes the catch to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. A man left at first base. Queerum keeps on rolling as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 3-0 St. Francis. Bottom 5 at the halfway point of today's game. 3-run lead for St. Francis, 3-0. Josh Tesh leads off the inning for the Fighting Saints. Tesh, Krob, and Harper set to go up against young right-hander Jake Meyer, whose first pitch is a strike over the outside corner. First pitch that Tesh has not swung at and put in play today. He had been 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. Saw only 1 pitch in each of his first 2 at-bats. There's a ball outside. It's 1-1. 4th inning was the first scoreless of the game for Jake Meyer. Now he's trying to ride that momentum into the 5th. Swing and a miss from Tesh, 1-2. Meyer has 3 strikeouts today. They all came in a row between the 1st and 2nd innings. Hasn't had one since. Looking for number 4 in the game right here, his 1-2 offering. Misses outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Saints have 4 hits through 4 innings, 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd. They've had a lot more base runners than that, though. They've been helped out on 2 errors that have allowed guys to reach. That ball's ripped out to left field and a base hit for Josh Tesh. Leadoff man reaches for St. Francis as Tesh takes a big turnaround first, but stays where he is. He's 2 for 3. Here's Dustin Krob. Not only have those 2 errors let runners on base, but there have been 3 walks and 1 hit batter. So 11 total base runners now in the game for the Fighting Saints. Dustin Krob is 2 of those 11. He's got an RBI in each of his first 2 plate appearances. Trying to make it 3 in a row right here. Got 9 RBIs now for the year. He takes the first pitch, low and in for ball 1. Krob drew a bases-loaded walk back in the first to break a scoreless tie. In the third inning, he made it 3-0 when he singled home Anthony Ferran from second base, or from third base, rather. Ground ball down the third base line. Nice backhanded stop by Griffin. The throw to first is in time to get Krob. Good play by Connor Griffin. On a pretty hard-hit ground ball, just barely fair. Tash advances to second base on the play. I'm not sure if Griffin had a chance to get the lead runner on that play, but on a ball that was that tough to bring in, he probably felt like it was the wisest thing to do just to get the sure out and not even think about going to second base. So 1 out, a runner in scoring position. Here's Shawn Harper for the third time. Harper's 0 for 2. He takes the ball up and in. Struck out looking in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third. That was on a diving play by Griffin. Griffin has committed 2 errors in today's game, but he's also made some excellent plays. He's looked really good defensively more often than not. Ball up and in, 2-0. One of those errors was on a ball hit on the ground that he should have made. The other error was a little more nuanced because it was a pop-up onto the pitcher's mound. Hit off his glove and he dropped it. But he was caught in a tough spot because he was trying to make a play on the run on the mound. Called strike 1. Count is 2-1 on Harper. Runner at second base, 1 out. Saints lead by 3. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lined out to left field, a base hit for Harper. Here comes Tesh around third base. He's going to score without a play. An RBI single for Shawn Harper. And our score is 4-0 St. Francis. Harper's got his first hit of the ball game. Give him 4 runs batted in now this year. And the batter is Bailey Schultz. There's a right-hander warming up in the bullpen for Roosevelt down the right field line. I think it's Nick Simak. Meyer struggling here in the 5th. This is outside on Schultz. Pick-off throw down to first. Not in time to get Harper. 1-0 on Schultz. And not only is Meyer having some trouble getting outs in the 5th inning, but he's creeping up near 100 pitches now. This will be 97. Swing and a miss. Count is 1-1 on Schultz. One out, 1 on, 1 in so far in the bottom half of the 5th. St. Francis trying to snap out of a funk. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games, all of them on the road. Good to be back at home where they have dominated this year. 15-3 in home games coming into today. Ground ball to third. Picked up by Griffin. Throw to second for 1. Over to first. It's a double play. And the inning is over. That is exactly what Meyer and the Lakers needed right there. He was on the ropes, but the double play ends the frame. Saints do get 1 run on 2 hits. And as we head to the 6th, our score is 4-0. Fighting Saints. 4-0 St. Francis in the 6th as Matt Kozlak takes strike one over the outside corner from Michael Quirum. Kozlak is 0 for 1, grounded into a double play in the 3rd inning. He walked back in the 1st. Ball in the dirt, 1-1. That first inning walk is the only one issued by Quirum in the game today. I said at the time it was weird to see an early walk from him because he only, on the season, walks about one guy every 7 innings. And he walked one of the first 2 batters in this game, but he's turned that into 1 in 5 innings as Kozlak smokes it down the left field line. It's a fair ball just inside the line. Looks like extra bases for Kozlak, who heads to second with a leadoff double. So the first extra base hit of the ball game for the Lakers. Their 5th hit in total. And they've got a potential rally cooking here. They haven't had a whole lot of success on offense. This is their first runner in scoring position since the 2nd inning. Ever since the start of the 3rd, Michael Quirum's been dominant. Prior to that double, he had retired 8 of the last 9 men that he had faced. Now he has to face Parker Coleman with a runner at second base and nobody out. Coleman takes ball 1 outside. 14 of the last 17 had been retired. But now Quirum's in a little bit of trouble. He does have a 4-run lead. Ball outside, 2-0. So the runner at second base is not of the utmost importance to Quirum. Still just trying to get outs here. He'd rather not give up any runs. And there's ball 3. 3-0 on Coleman, who struck out on 3 pitches back in the 3rd. Popped out on an 0-2 pitch in the 1st inning, so he hadn't seen a ball in either of his first 2 at-bats, and now it's 3-0 on him. Quirum's next toss hits the inside corner for a strike, 3-1. Parker Coleman is a senior outfielder from Homewood Flossmoor High School. He does a little pitching every now and then, but primarily a hitter at this point in his college career. He's been a good one this year. He smacks that ball to the right side, caught by a leaping Peterson. 1 away. Hard hit ball, in fact, it's back-to-back hard hit balls by Roosevelt's offense, but Peterson was right where he needed to be. Just jumped up and made the grab over his head. Good play by Peterson. 1 out in the 6th, and a big first out for Quirum. Even though he has been hit hard a couple of times in a row, he faces Zach Taylor now with a man at second base, 1 down. 4-0, St. Francis leads. Fighting Saints haven't had any big innings today as the pickoff throw goes to second base to chase Kozlak back to the bag. Single runs in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th. That's been their offense today. Trying to shut down the Roosevelt offense. Zach Taylor's 0 for 2. He fouls back the first pitch for strike 1. He's flown to shallow left and grounded to short. Jordan Coakley is in the on-deck circle. Tough part of the batting order for Quirum to get through. But this will probably be, or at least it could be, the last time he has to go through these hitters. Ball in the dirt, good block by Sabolka, 1-1. That would be contingent on him coming out of the game at some point. If he continues to throw well, he might not. Or if he starts to throw really poorly, he might see them again too. Ball off the outside corner, 2-1 on Taylor. Kozlak hit a ringing double down the left field line to lead off the inning. Coleman lined one sharply to the right side, but Peterson made a leaping grab. Now Coleman smokes it to short. It's caught on the fly by Krob, 2 down. Another hard hit line drive right at somebody, 2 outs, and Roosevelt's got to be getting frustrated offensively right now. They have not had any success all game against Quirum. Now finally in the 6th, they start hitting the ball hard, but it's always right at somebody, or at least 2 out of 3 have been right at somebody. Coleman's line shot was caught on the jump by Peterson. Taylor's sunk down to around the ankles of the shortstop Dustin Krob before he made his catch. 1-0 on Coakley, who has struck out twice today. 2 of 5 strikeouts in the games. He fouls this one back out of play, 1-1. 3 men have come up this inning. All 3 have hit the ball hard, but there are 2 outs, a runner at second base, and no runs have scored. Ball in the dirt. Cebulka smothers it. It's 2-1. Roosevelt still is not on the scoreboard. They can change that with a clutch 2-out hit from Jordan Coakley. 2-1 pitch. He hits it on a line out to left field, and Harper has to play that on a bounce. Rounding third, but holding up is Kozlak. He elects not to try to score. The ball got on Harper a little bit too quickly. So Kozlak stops at third. Coakley's got himself a 2-out single, and they're at the corners now for Lunado. Leo Lunato's got a chance to make this game a heck of a lot more interesting with a hit in this at-bat. Lunato, a .233 batter for the year, is 0 for 2 in the game. He's grounded out and popped out. He rolls this ball down the third base line, and it goes foul. Probably the best move for Josh Tesh there. I don't think he had a play at first base. He didn't think so either. So he just let it go, hoping it would trickle foul, and it did just before the bag. Strike 1 on Lunato. The single moments ago for Jordan Coakley broke up the struggles of the middle of the batting order for Roosevelt. Prior to that hit, their 3, 4, and 5 batters had gone a combined 0 for 8 with 3 strikeouts. Now 1 for 9 after the Coakley hit. In fact, their 3 through 6 batters had been 0 for 10. Lunato pops it foul, not a play to the right side. Quirms had no real reason during today's game to worry about any of the proceedings. Things have been in St. Francis's control pretty much the entire way. But for the first time all game, they're starting to hit him hard. Pickoff throw to first, and they got him. The inning is over. Michael Quirm picks Jordan Coakley off of first base, and he doesn't even have to worry about the 0-2 pitch to Leo Lunato. We'll see Lunato bat to lead off the 7th. But right now we go to the bottom of the 6th. Roosevelt gets a pair of hits but doesn't score. Still 4-0 St. Francis. Four 0 St. Francis, bottom of the 6th inning. Adam Cebulka, Travis Schoonover, Johnny Peterson due to hit. St. Francis trying to add to their 4-run lead. They've scored in all but 1 inning so far today. Cebulka swings and misses for strike 1. Fighting Saints catcher is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He has struck out and grounded out. Trying to get this 6th inning off to a hot start for the Fighting Saints. Jake Meyer's next pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Meyer's had an up-and-down game. Overall, 4 runs through 5 innings so far. Not too great on the old ERA line. But he's had his moments. He misses high for a ball, 2-1. Last 2 innings in particular have been sharp for the freshman right-hander. He's allowed 1 run on 2 hits over those 2 innings, but he's only faced 8 batters total. Popped up, foul to the right side and out of play into the seats. It's 2-2. Meyer's right around 100 pitches right now, so I would imagine we won't see too much more of him. This may be his last inning, regardless of how it goes. There is a right-hander still loosening in the bullpen. I believe that's still Cy Mack, who was just about ready to go last inning in case Meyer ran into any trouble. Cebulka takes outside, full count. So if Meyer doesn't get the job done this inning, we'll probably see Cy Mack. If he does get the job done, it's still probably his last frame out there. 3-2. Ball 4 inside. 4th walk issued by Meyer today. He's also hit 1 batter. Leadoff man reaches for St. Francis for the 4th time today. Now we've got a different runner at first base. Cebulka's the catcher, so he gets to go back to the dugout, get ready for the next inning. Noah Carraro will do the running over at first. Travis Schoonover is 1 for 2 with a walk, a double, and 2 runs scored. Batting now for the 4th time. He takes ball 1 low. Schoonover, junior right fielder, hitting leadoff as usual for the Saints. He swings and grounds it on 1 hop to first base, bobbled by Lunato. He gathers it and steps on the bag for the out. Cebulka down to second base, or rather Carraro, the pinch runner, down to second base. Schoonover's out number 1, 3 unassisted. The batter's John Peterson. That was a hard 1 hopper off the bat of Schoonover. Not an easy play for Lunato. If he had gloved it cleanly, probably would have been a double play. He was not able to glove it cleanly because it was hit so hard. He knocked it down, couldn't find it initially. But after he located the ball just about a foot behind him, he was able to track it down, grab it, step on first, and get at least the batter, if not the lead runner. Peterson hits a foul ball to the left side for strike 1. Another man in scoring position for St. Francis. They've scored in 4 out of 5 innings so far. Base hit from Peterson could make it 5 out of 6. It hasn't been a huge offensive day for the Fighting Saints. It's been a workman-like 4 runs. No big rallies, no crooked numbers. They've left a fair number of runners on base, 6 of them in the first 3 innings, but only 1 in the last 2. Oh, and 1 on Peterson. Long pause by Meyer. He finally gets a sign he likes from catcher Foxx. And the next pitch misses high. 1-1. Joey Foxx is doing the catching for the Lakers right now. Came on in place of Jake Hutchinson last inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Peterson. A runner at second base with 1 out. Another long set from Meyer. And now finally a strike fired over the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peterson has had an interesting day. He's been on base twice. He's 0 for 1. But he had a sacrifice bunt, reached on an error, and was hit by a pitch. So only 1 official at bat, and that 1 official at bat, he reached base, drove in a run, didn't get credit for an RBI or a hit, though. Ball outside, 2-2. So every one of his at-bats has been productive in one way or another, even though he is, again, 0 for 1 with no stats, no RBIs, no runs scored, no hits on the stat sheet. But he's come up big each time in the first 5 innings that he's batted. Now here in the 6th, the runner at second base, 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Misses up high, ball 3. If Peterson walks here, it's hard to imagine that Jake Meyer will be the one facing Joe McGuire, who stands on deck. Designated hitter's taking his practice cuts right now for the Saints in the on-deck circle. Payoff pitch to Peterson. Strike over the outside corner, and I thought that was strike 3. I think it was. I don't know. Peterson seems confused about it as well. The home plate umpire doesn't seem to know what the count was, so he's going to talk it over with the base umpire. What was the count? I thought it was 3-2. He called a standard strike, didn't ring him up. Peterson started to walk back to the dugout. Wasn't exactly sure where to go. Here's one you don't see every day. So now it's 3-2, I think. And Roosevelt's head coach, Steve Marchi, wants an explanation. I don't blame him. I kind of do, too. How did we all have the wrong count? So Marchi talks it over with the umpire, and he doesn't seem satisfied with the explanation. But Peterson's at bat, for one reason or another, is not over. So it's still 3-2 on Peterson. Cebulka walked to lead off the inning. And then Travis Schoonover grounded out to first base. Cebulka's pinch runner Noah Carraro moved up to second. Marchi's still out onto the field, arguing with the home plate umpire. This is one that you wouldn't think would have a lot of ambiguity to it. But Peterson stands in the box. He'll get to see another pitch. So perhaps the Saints catch a break here. Let's see if they take advantage of it. Payoff pitch now with one out to second baseman John Peterson. Swung on and fouled away to the right side, out of play. Archie gave a pretty good argument to the man behind the plates, but kept his cool, stays in the game, back in the dugout now. It's 3-2 on Peterson. Myers still trying to gut his way through this inning. Chopper foul to the left side, and it's still 3-2. Another long at bat. There have been a bunch of them today against Jake Meyer. And again, he's had his moments. Statistically, not a great game for him. But for the freshman hurler who came in with a 6.91 ERA, there have certainly been some encouraging signs as well. Another 3-2. Popped up, shallow right field. Backing up Morera, coming in Lentini, and Don Lentini drops the ball. Peterson is safe at first. He can't advance beyond first base because Carraro was standing at second, assuming that ball would be caught. He's not able to advance. So again, Peterson is aboard, and still Peterson does not have a hit in the game, but he's not had an unproductive at-bat either. That was about as routine as they get for Lentini. Just popped right out of his glove. Third error of the ball game committed by Roosevelt, and it looks like that'll be all for Jake Meyer, who received some bad luck today. Again, he's allowed 4 runs and 2 base runners through 5 1/3 innings. 2 of the 4 runs are unearned. And if they score any this inning, at least one of them would be unearned. The man at first. New pitcher coming in. I'll tell you about him in just a moment. Right now, I'll take a break. Bottom of the 6th, 4-0 St. Francis. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-0 St. Francis. New pitcher on for the Lakers of Roosevelt. It's the sophomore right-hander Nick Simak. On for the 9th time, his 7th as a reliever. He's 0-2 with an 11.15 ERA. In 15 1/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 27 runs, 19 of them earned on 26 hits, 6 strikeouts, 16 walks. And he faces the heart of the St. Francis order with runners at first and second and only 1 out. Joe McGuire is 0 for 3 in the game, but he's hit the ball hard a couple of times. He takes strike 1 over the outside corner. In fact, he's really hit the ball hard all 3 times up. He's reached on an air, flown out to right, and lined into left. Carraro's at second base. Peterson's at first. No hits this inning for the Fighting Saints. A walk and an error. The 0-1. Grounded foul down the third baseline. Count is 0-2. 5 1/3 innings pitched today by Jake Meyer. 4 runs allowed, 2 of them earned. 2 men on base are his responsibility as well. Struck out 3, he walked 4 and hit a batter. Allowed 6 hits in his 5 1/3 innings. He's in line for the loss as Michael Queeram has thrown an absolute gem on the other side. 0-2. McGuire ropes it into left center field, down for a base hit. Carraro around third base, he'll try to score. The throw from center field won't make it in time. It's an RBI single for Joe McGuire. Make it 5-0 St. Francis. McGuire's got his first hit of the day. It's his 20th run knocked in this season. Peterson up to second base on the play. And here's Anthony Ferran. Anthony Ferran 1 for 3 in the ball game. A double and a run scored back in the 3rd inning. Entered play hitting .440. He can break this game wide open with a base hit. Ferran takes ball 1 up and in. So that last run is charged to Meyer. That's 3 earned runs allowed in 5 1/3 innings. And at second base, it's his responsibility as well. But if he scores, that will not be an earned run because Peterson reached on an error. So as far as his ERA is concerned, at least, his day is over. Fouled away, 1-1 on Ferran. St. Francis looking to improve to 14-6 in conference. They're trying to move their record at home to 16-3 this season. Entering play today, they're 14-1 in conference play at home. Their only loss was a 2-0 defeat against Robert Morris on March 31st. Time is called in the batter's box. 1-1 on Ferran. They went on that crazy 14-game homestand during which they won 13 games, including at one point 12 in a row. Ferran fouls it away, 1-2. It wasn't supposed to be a 14-game homestand, but a couple of games during that stretch that were scheduled to be played on the road removed here due to weather concerns. And so they certainly feasted on the competition at home, but you knew after a long homestand they were eventually going to have to go on a long road trip, and that's essentially what's been going on here lately. 8 out of 9 games have been on the road, and they have not fared nearly as well away from home. Grounded to third, picked up by Griffin, throws to second for the force. The relay is in time, and the inning is over. Second straight inning that Roosevelt ends on a 5-4-3 double play. But it's also the second straight inning in which the Saints scored a run before that twin killing. So we'll go to the 7th inning with the Saints ahead, 5-0. St. Francis 3 outs away from their 22nd victory of the year. They lead Roosevelt by 5-0 score. They've scored in all but one inning. Ground ball down the third baseline, foul, strike one on Donato. 3 innings away. I think I said 3 outs. 3 innings away is what I meant. So we start the 7th. Leo Donato 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out. He was in the batter's box with an 0-2 count last inning when a pickoff ended the top of the 6th as Donato takes a strike. It's 0-2. Donato a .233 hitter on the season. Another 0-2 count on him. He takes the ball in the dirt. The count was 0-2 last time around when the inning ended prematurely and he didn't complete that at bat. He would like to have completed it. There was a runner at third base at the time. They ended up stranding him there. There's a ball outside, 2-2. Only twice in today's game has Roosevelt gotten a man to third base, and obviously they haven't scored either time because the score is still 5-0. 2-2. Donato takes ball 3. Quirum has missed on 3 in a row. Michael Quirum got off to a little bit of a slow start, but settled in pretty quickly. Dominated between the 2nd and 5th innings as Donato flies it into shallow right field. Going back is Peterson. Peterson makes the grab, 1 away. That brings up Joey Foxx. Foxx is getting his first at-bat of the game. .279 hitter this season, 9 RBIs, 3 doubles. Foxx came on defensively a couple of innings ago for Jake Hutchinson, freshman catcher, replacing a sophomore catcher. And Foxx stands in with an 0-1 count. 1 out, nobody on base. Quirum pitching from the stretch. Misses in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, he dominated the 2nd through 5th innings, then ran into some trouble in the 6th. He gave up a single, a double. Caught a few breaks as well. They really hit the ball hard in the 6th inning. 4 straight guys. Kozlak, Coleman, Taylor, and Coakley. 2 of them came up with hits. 2 of them were hard lineouts. Big swing from Joey Foxx. Can't connect. The count is 1-2. And then the pickoff ended the inning before any serious damage could be done. But it certainly seemed like the Lakers were on the cusp of scoring in the 6th inning. It never really happened for them. Now they're down to their final 8 outs. Make it 7 as Foxx swings and misses. Strike 3. Pitch was up in his eyes. He tried to check it up, but he clearly went around. He knew it immediately. 2nd out of the inning. 6th strikeout of the game for Quirum. First one since the 4th. And now he'll look for just his second 1-2-3 inning of the game. Top of the 4th is the only perfect inning for any pitcher today. Foul back for strike 1 by Dom Lentini. Lentini's had a tough day. Strikeout and a fly out. Dropped a ball in right field last inning, so he's 0 for 2 with an error. Trying to start a 2-out rally in the top of the 7th inning. Ball outside, 1-1. And that one grazed against his pant leg. Lentini will get first base as he is hit by the 1-1 pitch from Michael Quirum. So unable to complete his second 1-2-3 inning of the game. It's always the best way to reach first base without having to work for it. You hate to get hit by a pitch, but that one just got him, I think, on his jersey. I don't think it actually got any skin. So he won't be bruised, but he gets to take the bag anyway. There's a little roller down to first base hit by Griffin. An easy play for Ferran, who grabs it and carries it to the bag. And the inning comes to a close. The 2-out hit by pitch becomes the only base runner of the inning, as Quirum retires the side just 1 pitch later. Time to stretch here in Joliet. Our score is St. Francis 5 and Roosevelt 0. Saints 5, Lakers nothing in the bottom of the 7th inning. Josh Tesh, Dustin Krob, Shawn Harper due up for the Fighting Saints against Roosevelt reliever Nick Simak. Simak came on last inning with 1 out and 2 runners on. He gave up a hit and an RBI to the first batter he faced, but then got a double play from the second. Josh Tesh takes the first pitch, low and in for ball 1. Tesh has had a pretty nice day at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and a run scored. 297 hitter for the season. Tesh takes the ball, low and away, 2-0. 1 homer, 13 RBIs this year for Tesh. He's been aggressive in this game so far. Jumping on the first pitch in each of his first 2 at-bats. This time on the 3rd pitch, he hits a 2-hopper over to third base. Griffin across the diamond for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down in the 7th. Here's Dustin Krob. Saints have been consistent today. They've got 5 runs. They've never had more than 1 in an inning. In only the 4th have they been held off the scoreboard. They had 1 base runner, but stranded him at first in that frame. Dustin Krob's been active in the run scoring. He takes strike 1. Bases loaded walk in the first was his first RBI, and an RBI single in the 3rd was his second. Last time up, he grounded to 3rd, so he's 1 for 2 officially. Strike over the outside corner. He's in a quick 0-2 hole. Nice job by Simak so far, finding the strike zone. He's thrown 9 strikes, only 3 balls among his first 12 pitches. This is a guy who has struggled in that department much of the season. Ball outside, 1-2. 16 walks this year and only 15 innings coming in. He also had hit 3 batters. He's thrown 10 wild pitches in those 15 innings. So wild is an understatement for the way that he's pitched this year, followed away by Krob. Still 1-2, but today he's been in the strike zone consistently since entering. And he came into a tough spot last inning too. High pressure. He was able to, mostly at least, get out of it. Still 1-2 on Krob with 1 out and nobody on. There's a ground ball foul down the 3rd baseline. Still 1-2. Saints, I mentioned before, have been dominant at home. They've struggled on the road in conference play. Back on the road after this one. There's a high pop-up, shallow center field. Racing in is Coleman. The center fielder can't find it, and it drops for a hit. Rounding first and heading for second base safely is Dustin Krob. The sun has caused all kinds of problems for the Roosevelt Lakers today. And just another instance of it right there. Coleman was sprinting in from center. Morera and Kozlak, the middle infielders, were both going back. It seemed like Coleman, though, had a beat on it. He appeared to make the call for the catch. The 2 middle infielders peeled off. And Coleman just shielded his eyes from the sun and then ran away from the ball. Didn't want to get conked in the head. He had no idea where it was. Shawn Harper takes ball 1 low and away. Harper is 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Defense has been a mystery for Roosevelt today. They've been all over the place. They've dropped several easy pop-ups. That one wasn't a drop, but a missed pop-up. Ball in the dirt. Runner goes for 3rd. Throw down there is not in time. Wild pitch advances Krob to 3rd base, so he's taking advantage of all of Roosevelt's mistakes right now. It's 2-0 on Harper. Runner at 3rd base with only 1 out. Saints lead by 5 late. They're already in good position. They could put the game away with a big inning here. Infield in for the Lakers. Simak's 2-0 to Shawn Harper. Popped up behind home plate and out of play. It's 2-1. St. Francis back in action tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock start time at Calumet St. Joseph. That'll complete a 3-game season series with them. Started way back on March 13th when the Saints won a pair of games. Ball inside, 3-1. And then back home for just a single game on Friday. 3 o'clock start time against the conference leaders from St. Xavier. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 4. First walk issued by Cymax since he came into the game. It's the 5th walk overall given out by Roosevelt pitchers today. There's also been 1 hit batter. St. Francis has had no shortage of base runners in this game. Here's Bailey Schultz. Schultz is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's grounded into a double play and walked. To complete the week's schedule for the Fighting Saints this Saturday, a doubleheader at St. Xavier. That's a huge 3-game series this weekend. St. Xavier entered play today with a 17-2 conference record. 4-game lead over everybody else. It's a 3-way tie right now for second place. And the Saints are one of those 3 teams. There's a drive deep down the left field line, cutting foul. And it is well to the left of the line. Schultz crushed that ball, but he pulled it. Strike 1 on the center fielder. Doesn't need necessarily a home run here. Not that anybody would be complaining. A fly ball would get the run in. Schultz has got good speed. Tough man to double up on a ground ball as well. Runner goes from first. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second is high. And an easy steal for Shawn Harper, who takes second base. A 1-1 or an 0-2 count rather on Schultz. 2 men in scoring position. A base hit would score 2 now. Most base hits anyway. For Shawn Harper, stolen base number 3 this season. Pitcher in the driver's seat in this at-bat, though. The 0-2 pitch. Chopper to third base, gloved by Griffin. The throw goes to first. In time for the out. The run comes in to score. It's 6-0 St. Francis. Griffin may have had a play at home. Decided to take the sure out instead. Schultz picks up the RBI, his 4th of the year. And we're to the bottom of the order now. And Adam Cebulka. Roosevelt brought the infield in, so I'm surprised that Griffin's first thought wasn't to come home with it. It was a softly hit ball, so certainly not an easy out at the plate if he had gone in that direction. Would have been a close call, I think. Cebulka swings the first pitch. It's a foul ball on the ground to the left side for strike 1. And one school of thought is you're already down by 5. What's the difference between 5 and 6? The other school of thought is it's going to be hard enough to come back as it is. We've got to cut down on every run. I am surprised he didn't make the risk of trying to get the runner at home, knowing that 1 run at this point goes a long way towards putting the game away. Ball low and in, 1-1. 1-1 on Cebulka, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. He walked his last time up. He was pinch run for with Noah Carraro, and Carraro ultimately scored, so that Cebulka walk did lead to a run, even though he didn't score it. Trying to bring home another run right now with a hit. Ball high, 2-1. Runner at second base, 2 outs. Saints by 6. Trying to pick up their 14th conference win in 20 games. Cebulka hits it in the air, deep left field, and that's out of the reach of Zach Taylor. 1 bounce up against the wall. A run scores as Cebulka heads to second with an RBI double. 7-0 Saints. First hit of the ball game for Adam Cebulka. He's got his 7th double of the year, his 18th RBI. And it's starting to turn into a runaway for the Fighting Saints. And Simak apparently done for the day. Steve Marshy comes out, grabs the ball from him. Simak departs. A new pitcher coming on. I'll tell you about him in just a moment. 7-0 St. Francis. Runner at second, 2 outs in the 7th inning. Seven-run lead in the 7th inning for the St. Francis Fighting Saints. Top of the order coming up with a runner at second base and 2 outs. New pitcher in the ball game for Roosevelt. It is left-handed freshman Jared Galanos. Galanos' first pitch to Schoonover is fouled back for strike 1. Galanos making just his second collegiate appearance. He has no record, an 18 ERA in 1 inning. In his first outing, he allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts. Now trying to get out of a jam in the 7th. Fouled back once again by Schoonover, 0-2. Galanos replaced Nick Simak. Simak retired 2 of the first 3 batters he faced, but ran into some trouble with his defense, losing the ball in the sun. And then some control issues as well. Ball outside, 1-2. Overall in the ball game, an inning and a third for Simak. Gave up 3 hits and a walk. Didn't strike anybody out. He's allowed 2 runs. This is the first 2-run inning of the game for St. Francis. Prior to this, they had scored 1 run in 5 separate frames. Ball low and away, 2-2 on Schoonover. Travis Schoonover is 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. He has scored 2 runs. Now trying to drive one in. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch from Galanos. Ripped up the middle, a base hit for Schoonover. Adam Sobolka will come in to score. And our score is 8-0. RBI single for Schoonover on his second hit of the game. Noah Carraro, not Adam Sobolka, scored there. Carraro, the typical courtesy runner for Sobolka whenever he gets on base. So Carraro has scored twice in place of Sobolka today. Schoonover on first base with 2 down. The batter is John Peterson. And Peterson takes ball 1 high. 8-0 St. Francis. They've led the entire way ever since scoring a run in the bottom of the first inning on a bases-loaded walk. And they just kept tacking on. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. But it's been a relatively close game until the 7th, when the Saints have completely broken it open. with 3 runs on 3 hits so far. Ball outside, 2-0 on Peterson. John Peterson's had a very interesting day. A hit by pitch, a sacrifice bunt. He's reached on 2 errors. Ball low, 3-0. So he's been on base 3 times without having a hit, and the only time he didn't reach base, didn't even count against his batting average, it was a sacrifice bunt. Now he's bidding to reach base for a 4th time. The 3-0 pitch is over for a strike. He was also in the batter's box last inning when I thought he had struck out on a 3-2 pitch. The umpire ruled it had only been the 2nd strike, and he ended up a couple of pitches later reaching on an error on a fly ball out to right field that was dropped by Lentini. There's a grounder to the left side. Charging is the shortstop Kozlak. His throw to first base is not in time. An awkward throw from Matt Kozlak and an infield hit for John Peterson. Finally, he does have his first hit of the ball game, and all it took him was a little dribbler out to short. Schoonover advances to second base. Peterson at first, and the batter is Joe McGuire. McGuire is the 8th batter of the inning. He's 1 for 4 today with an RBI single. He's also reached on an error. There have been 3 of them in the game committed by Roosevelt, and a couple of other weak defensive plays that did not go as errors. They have not had a good game defensively. That last one was a tough play for Kozlak. I don't think he would have gotten Peterson if he had played it perfectly, but he made a very strange throw to first base, just didn't get much on it, kind of rolled it over there. McGuire takes a wild cut, and this is for strike 1. Throughout most of this game, the story for the Fighting Saints has been Michael Queerham and his 7 shutout innings on the mound, but now the offense is making a case for being the story. 8 runs on 11 hits. Swing and a miss, 0-2. This has proven to be the total opposite of Saturday at Roosevelt, when St. Francis lost 7-1 and 9-1. Now it's the Fighting Saints who are able to dominate both offensively and defensively. 0-2 on McGuire. Galanos is 1 strike away from ending the inning. The 0-2. Outside, ball 1. Been a long day for Roosevelt pitchers. Galanos is the 3rd they've used today. And they've struggled. They've allowed a lot of base runners. 20 of them in all. 11 hits, 5 walks, a hit batter, 3 errors. Ball outside, 2-2. So the pitchers, I guess, have allowed 17 base runners, and the defense has allowed 3 more. Any way you want to slice it, it's been tough for the pitching. There's been a steady stream of men running the bases for St. Francis. 2-2. McGuire pops it foul and out of play. Only once in today's game have Roosevelt pitchers been able to retire the first 2 batters of an inning. So there were 2 outs and nobody on base. It happened in the 2nd inning. The Saints ended up getting a run that inning anyway. They've had at least 2 base runners in 5 out of 7 innings. Actually make that 6 out of 7, all but the 4th. There's a fly ball by McGuire out to left center field. Seems to be playable for Coleman. Takes a few steps to his right, makes the catch, and ends the inning. St. Francis adds 3 more to their lead on 4 hits. A walk, 2 men left on base. They send 8 to the plate overall in the 7th. We head to the 8th. It's 8-0. Saints on top. 8-0 St. Francis as we move into the 8th inning. Top of the order for Roosevelt. Matt Morera takes ball 1. Morera is 2 for 3. He singled in the first and the third. Popped out to the shortstop his last time up. He takes a ball low, 2-0. Michael Quirum, 7 shutout innings under his belt, back out to pitch the 8th. Got a long rest there. Bottom of the 7th inning featured 3 runs, 4 hits, 8 batters, and a pitching change. Foul back, it's 2-1. We'll see if Quirum shows any signs of the rust or if he's able to pick up right where he left off in the 7th inning when he looked as good as ever. Morera, always a tough out. Flies this ball out to shallow left center. Krob backs up. The shortstop makes the grab. 1 away. A very sunny April afternoon, and we've seen the sun really bother Roosevelt fielders all day, but Saints fielders haven't had a problem with it. On any of these pop-ups, they've been automatic outs. 1 away to start the 8th. Matt Morera, who was just retired, mentioned he's always a tough out. He's got 35 hits this year in 32 games. There's a hard 2-hopper to short, gloved by Krob. The throw over to first is in time to retire Matt Kozlak. 2 away. All 35 of Morera's hits have been singles. So he is not an easy man to retire, and especially because he's got a good eye at the plate as well. 400 on-base percentage, but not much of a power threat. He was just trying to start a rally here in this inning. Couldn't do it. 2 up, 2 down. 5 of 6 have been retired by Quirum going back to the 7th inning. Here's Parker Coleman. Coleman is 0 for 3. He's popped out to second and struck out swinging. And his last time up, hit a screaming liner, but John Peterson made a nice leaping grab. Pulled the ball in from over his head for an out. This time Coleman takes ball 1. 2 outs, nobody on. 1-0 on Coleman. Quirum gets the sign and sets. Swing and a fly ball out to left field. Backing up is Harper. Harper's under it. Harper makes the catch. The inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Lakers in the 8th. Just the second 1, 2, 3 inning of the game for either side. And Quirum is on a roll. He's retired 6 out of 7. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-0 St. Francis. Eight nothing St. Francis, bottom of the 8th. Last chance to pad their lead before they go for their final 3 outs. Anthony Ferran, Josh Tesh, Dustin Krob are due up for the Fighting Saints. Ferran is 1 for 4. Kind of a quiet day for the cleanup batter, but his one hit was a double, and he scored a run. He takes strike 1 from Jared Galanos. Galanos starting his first inning. He came on in the 7th with a couple of runners on. He gave up single, and then got out of it with a fly out. There's a fly ball into right field. It's deep, but it's going to stay in the yard, just in front of the warning track. Lentini makes the grab for out number 1. Galanos did not allow any runs in his 3rd of an inning in the 7th. He did allow an inherited runner to score. Came in with just 1 runner on, not a couple. But 1 runner was on when he entered, and he allowed him to cross the plate. Nobody else did on his watch. Josh Tesh is 2 for 4. Ball low and away, 1-0. There's a swing from Tesh and a high fly out to center. Coleman shields his eyes from the sun, and he just does locate that ball in enough time to make the catch. Sun has been causing problems for Coleman and others in gray and green today. That time, Coleman, for a moment, looked like he couldn't find the ball again, but he was able to pull it in for the 2nd out. Just the 2nd time today that a Roosevelt pitcher has retired the first 2 batters of the inning. And now we'll see if he can retire Dustin Krob and make it 1-2-3 for the first time all day. Ball outside, 1-0. Krob's got 2 RBIs and a run scored today. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a walk. He swings on 1-0 and flies that out to deep center field. Playable, though, and Parker Coleman can't find it. Krob into second base, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, Dustin Krob takes advantage of Parker Coleman losing the ball in the sun. I think he just needs new sunglasses. I don't know what's going on with Coleman out there, but he just can't find anything that sits to center field. It's not going to do. This is not going to be the last day game that Roosevelt plays this year. He's got to work around it. He hasn't had a day he'd like to remember in center. Ball high, 1-0 on Harper, and it's not just Coleman. Lentini dropped a ball at right field. Griffin had a problem with a pop-up on the infield. 1-0 on Harper, who swings and bounces it to third base. Griffin scoops it up behind the bag, fires to first, and Harper is out by half a step. The inning is over. Despite the 2 out misplay in center field, the Saints don't score in the 8th. We head to the 9th, 1 inning to play. St. Francis 8, Roosevelt 0. Last chance coming up for the Lakers. Roosevelt trails St. Francis 8-0. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Roosevelt against Michael Queerum, looking for a complete game shutout. He'll face Zach Taylor Jordan Coakley and Leo Lunato. Ball one outside. We're underway in the ninth. Querim just over 100 pitches. Number 102 for the ball game. Taylor is 0 for 3. He's popped out to left. He's grounded out to short. And he's lined out to the shortstop as well. Querim uncorks one to the backstop. 2-0 the count. Querim has retired 4 in a row and 6 of the last 7. Check swing on a ball low and away. He did not go around. On appeal, confirmed he did not go around. It's 3-0. Querim hasn't walked anybody since the second batter of the game. But it's a 3-0 count right now on Taylor. There's a swing and a line drive to center field, a base hit. Leadoff man reaches for Roosevelt in the ninth. Nobody warming up in the bullpen right now for St. Francis. Brian Mahalik is determined to get Querim through this game, and so far Querim's been able to get himself through it, but not the start he was hoping for in the ninth. The 7th hit of the contest for Roosevelt. 6 of them have been singles. The only one with an extra base hit was Matt Kozlak back in the 6th. Ball one low and away on Coakley. Jordan Coakley is 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Querim's got 6 strikeouts in the ball game. Only one of them has come since the 4th inning. There's a soft liner to short. It hangs in the air as Krob makes the catch for out number 1. Coakley is retired. Querim is 2 outs away from his 5th complete game of the year. This would be his 2nd shutout if he's able to finish it off. The batter is Leo Lunato. Lunato is 0 for 3. He's grounded out, popped out twice. And now he takes ball 1. Querim has thrown 7 pitches this inning. 5 of them have missed the strike zone, and 2 of them have been put in play. And there's another ball low. So all of a sudden his control is gone from him. 2 balls and no strikes on Lunato. There's a swing and a fly ball to right center field. Long run back for Schultz, and it's over his head. One hops the wall. Schultz trying to get it quickly back to the infield, but Taylor is around third base, and he scores, getting Roosevelt on the board. It's 8-1. Lunato cranks a double off the right center field wall, picks up an RBI, and breaks up the shutout. Still a big lead for St. Francis, still just 2 outs away from a win, but Querim maybe tiring a little bit, or maybe the Roosevelt batters are just starting to figure him out. But they have had a good approach this inning. They've not taken a strike yet. There have been 7, make that 5 balls, and 3 balls put in play, a single, a double, and a line out. Strike 1 called on Joey Foxx. So there's the first called strike of the inning. Querim still looking for his 5th complete game of the year. His 2nd shutout is now off the table. Ball low, 1-1 on Foxx. Joey Foxx struck out swinging in the 7th inning. It's his only at-bat of the game. He came on as a mid-game replacement for the starting catcher, Jake Hutchinson. Ball outside, 2-1. Runner at second base, 1 out. Big lead for St. Francis. Trying to improve to 22-17 on the season. Line drive to left field. That's a base hit for Foxx. Lunato moves up to third base. They're at the corners with 1 out. And the number 8 hitter, Dom Lentini, is coming up next. And now Hunter Morawski will start getting loose in the bullpen. Querim brilliant through 8 innings, struggling in the 9th. He's faced 4 batters. 3 of them have hits. He's fallen behind every batter this inning after throwing seemingly nothing but strikes for the last 7 frames. He had some problems with his control in the 1st inning. There's just about half of his 24 first inning pitches for balls. 1st inning was ugly for both pitchers. The game really settled in a little bit after that, although St. Francis continued to hit. Roosevelt made some bad defensive plays as the game went on, but Querim certainly was good. Lentini takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Dom Lentini is 0 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch. Number 8 batter for the Lakers. There's a breaker over the outside corner for strike 2. If they win this game, St. Francis is 3.5 behind St. Xavier for the conference lead. They'll see the Cougars for 3 games this weekend. Those are 3 big games. Runner goes from first, swung on by Lentini, lined out to right field. Schoonover goes back and makes the catch. He's going to throw back to first base and double up Foxx. The game is over. St. Francis wins 8-1 on a double play. The ball was crushed out to right field by Dom Lentini, but Joey Foxx was running on the pitch and didn't pick it up quickly enough. He made it all the way to second base before he turned around and started going back. Schoonover made a nice running catch to track down that deep fly from Lentini, and he threw it on back to first in order to wrap up the inning and the ball game. St. Francis wins 8-1. Wasn't the best 9th inning of all time, but Michael Quirum was brilliant through 8 and certainly good enough to come away with a complete game victory. And a fine performance today for the Fighting Saints all around as they get back on track, snapping a 3-game losing streak. They had lost 5 of their last 6 games. So it's good to see them get back in the winning spirit once they get back home, and that's generally been the way it's worked for them. When they come home, they win ball games. They're now 16-3 at home this year. Saints took the lead in the first inning, never relinquished it. They loaded the bases on a walk, an error, and an infield single. So they weren't exactly killing the ball in the first inning, but an RBI walk from Dustin Krob made it 1-0. Then in the second inning with 2 outs, Travis Schoonover doubled. John Peterson reached on an error, scoring Schoonover. That made it 2-0. In the third inning, they added 1 more run. Anthony Ferran doubled and scored on a Krob base hit, 3-0. And then in the fifth inning, another 1 run. Single for Josh Tesh, an RBI base hit for Shawn Harper. It was 4-0 at that point. Another run in the 6th inning and an RBI single from Joe McGuire, who scored Adam Cebulka's pinch runner Noah Carraro. Cebulka had walked to lead off the inning. It was 5-0 at the end of 6, and then in the 7th, the Saints essentially put it away. Dustin Krob hit a 1-out double on a ball that should have been a routine flyout, but Parker Coleman lost it in the sun. Krob hit 2 doubles today, and both of them were balls that were lost in the sun out in center field. But he doubled to start a rally in the 7th inning. Shawn Harper walked. Adam Cebulka doubled to score Harper. Bailey Schultz's ground out scored Krob. That made it 7-0, and then an RBI single for Travis Schoonover brought home Carraro, who pinch ran again for Cebulka. That made it 8-0. And that was more than enough for St. Francis, whose Michael Quirum was brilliant with a shutout going through 8 innings. In the 9th, he lost the shutout as Zach Taylor singled and Leo Lunato doubled him in. But with runners at first and third and 1 out, Dom Lentini cranked one to right field. Travis Schoonover made a nice running grab and threw back to first to double up Joey Foxx to end the ball game, and the Saints come out victorious by an 8-1 final score. Looking at the totals in this one, for the visitors from Roosevelt, 1 run, 9 hits, 3 errors, and for the hosts of St. Francis, 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors. A weirdly symmetrical series as Roosevelt won at home by similar scores, 7-1 and 9-1, and at home St. Francis takes care of business in the same way with an 8-1 victory. Michael Quirum picks up the win and improves to 5-4. He went the distance, his 5th complete game of the year, allowed 1 run on 9 hits, 1 walk, struck out 6. The losing pitcher today, Jake Myers, 0-3. He allowed 5 runs, 3 of them earned on 6 hits, over 5 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks. With the win, St. Francis now 22-17. They're 14-6 in conference. With the loss, Roosevelt is 9-23. They are 9-12 in conference. After an 0-11 conference season, they're still in the thick of things, but not able to finish off the sweep of St. Francis today. Next up for the Fighting Saints tomorrow on the road at Calumet St. Joseph. That's a 4 o'clock start time tomorrow afternoon. They're back home this Friday with a single 9-inning game against St. Xavier, 3 o'clock start, and then they'll have a doubleheader to finish up that series on Saturday at St. Xavier. But first things first, that game at Calumet St. Joseph tomorrow, and our next broadcast is Friday, the home game against St. Xavier. Hope you join us for that. Until then, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis, an 8-1 win today against Roosevelt. Talk to you next time.